So the crazy reputation. Let me be very direct with you on this. That's got a very broad way of being defined. Of when he gets into the dark side, he gets crazy. But to be honest with you, when I look back at it, it pretty much can be taken literally, meaning it wasn't that, dude, he tried to stab her, he's crazy, or he tried to murder her, she's crazy. What happened was I literally just went crazy. In other words, I was the type of guy who I wouldn't come into your house with a gun and shoot you and your boyfriend. I was the guy who would like drive the car through the parking lot and take out his car and his friend's cars. I was reckless. 75% of the shit I would do went in a total crazy outrage. It was self-destructive and all around the board. It had nothing to necessarily do around a person. She may have been the catalyst, but that's always something I've said has been blown out of proportion. I've been face to face with my ex, and she witnessed some of the worst of my worst moments. And there's not a minute that I do believe that she thinks I was really going to hurt her or anything like that. She was the only one who could bring me down. I had guys that were thug gangster murderers that would call her up and be like, "You got to come over, like, you got to bring down." She was the only one who could bring me down. That got to be a catchword, and I didn't know why. She's your girlfriend. Yeah, I have other girlfriends and other people that I know that are like her. There was something about the way she conducted herself and bringing me down, and telling me to calm down. It was almost like the innocence of like she didn't know what she was doing. Like, okay, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. Like brought me back into a sense of sanity. But I can't describe enough to you that you kind of need to eliminate now for a second this you were in love and she was in love and oh, this is a terrible tragedy. You have to bring into what happened before we met, the contracts that were signed when we met, and all the late night talks and discussions about we aren't just getting into a regular contract. We signed a major contract that seemed to cover all of our past pains that we, especially with me and you, would lead probably to a fucking demise if any of them were even misconstrued as being done wrong. I wouldn't say that we signed a, go down with the ship contract, but clearly that was implied. And it was because Don couldn't handle it again. Don is not going to come out. I mean, he could be passing up his soulmate now, but he's loyal with his decisions. This took a lot of, dare I say, backroom policy changing and all that to really get me. It took me about 1.5 years till I really fully went into, dare I say, Don in a real relationship mode. And what's that? Asking the girl who's ever been with me in real relationship mode. Not just, because when I'm not in real relationship mode, I'm probably better than your best boyfriend. Because I know what the girls need. I just, call me gay. Dude, call me effeminate like that. The gay friend. I get it with them. I can know when their periods are. I don't make, certain jokes. I'm a little sexist sometimes because I'm a guy. But I'm easily domesticated, shit like that. And I'm not embarrassed to say that. Because I signed a contract to be in the fucking relationship. All right? I'm not going to get involved with a female and pretend like, oh, yeah, and I'm going to sneak in all these things like I'm going to watch football when I want to and bring over hookers. You are signing up that you are now going to become a team, and if you are in love, you're going to become one. And if becoming one means, yeah, you might have to do the dishes sometimes just as much as you get to make love. So that was the main fear that came over me when the concept of us breaking up came about. Now, these happened in different incidents. April 26th, of 2005 was a major rock bottom moment for me. I don't even think I had to try to kill myself. I thought I was about to die. She seemed to be ready for it, and she'd already advised my parents, who had money to dole out for me to go to a big rehab clinic in Laguna Beach. My detox was so intense, she was basically carrying me like a fucking soldier on the field, shaking and sweating into this location. That was hell. But she kicked me out before that. She brought me back in just to be like, okay, you're staying here tonight because tomorrow, Don, I'm taking you in. I know, sweetie, I know. And we would have those moments of being back in the relationship even though we knew we should stay away from each other. She took me in. I do great at rehab. I do really, really good at rehab. The Suboxone was excellent. I was supposed to spend a month there. Well, there's never I never didn't go sober, but they gave us what were called comfort meds because some of us were in extreme pain. And they were very mild muscle sedatives, things that would help us sleep, but nothing on the wild level. Definitely not the stuff we were abusing. And it was pretty free-spirited. It was a nice, highly priced place, so breakfast was nice, you know what I mean? After the first 2-3 weeks, you were actually allowed to move into another, and it was not actually on the beach. It was actually supposedly in the real Hotel California. I said, yeah, every hotel is the Hotel California. No, it was actually, the song was written at this place called Spencer's. Now, once I get in with people, this seemed to happen from fucking junior high until now. There was some dramas going on. Most of the kids there were younger than me. I mean, I'm in my mid 30s, but there were guys that were in their 40s and 50s, and it was pricey. But I wasn't so sure. I knew the asshole treatment people, but also other ones were like, dude, your story should be told, man. So very soon I became kind of the lead guy of one of the opiate addiction circles. I mean, that happens with everybody. You get that second honeymoon of life. And I was coming out of it. I was really coming out of it because I was worried, and I should have been worried, that what was going to happen was I wasn't going to be able to assimilate back into sober life. I know other people say, no, it just takes time. I know that, but you don't seem to understand the way my addiction was. I wasn't using to get high. I was using to get by. So now I'll be trying to fight the addiction in the sense of I needed it to feel good, but also you don't understand that these are drugs that, we can debate this. I need. And if you ask 50 people around me, including anti-drug people, they'll say, we have to admit he becomes normal on these drugs. We can't explain it. We can't explain it. And I knew I felt that way, but when people started saying that to me, I knew something was up. Anyways, they started restricting some of these comfort drugs from some of the people I was there with. And they would give us some free time off of the lodging area. And like I said, we were on the beach. And to make a very long story short, I basically conscripted a way in which, because of my LA genius, we don't even need these fuckers here because what we're signing in the paperwork office and all that basically gives us the right that these are our meds. They're simply intervening it and dispensing them to us. And they just get them from the pharmacy up the street. So what do? I fucking went and I middlemaned it out. I went up and I got everyone's pills and whatever I wanted also, so that we had them. We weren't really using them. I know that sounds odd, but why would you hijack them? But and I did it successfully. They had no idea what was going on. They thought the pills went missing. They interviewed me and asked me all these questions. Now I'm getting into some risky territory. Why? Because it's not going along with what you said you'd do. But I was almost done with the program. My dumb ass leaves these fucking pills, like down in the lunchroom area where there's like this 23-year-old bitch who probably doesn't like me anyways, who basically turns them over and I get ratted out. Long story short, they bring me into the big office, blah blah blah. And then they start pinning all this crazy shit on me. And then I had bad things happening to me. Wendy was still sticking with me. She'd been coming down almost every other day. Man, God bless that fucking girl, dude. Bought me an iPod. iPods had just come out. Bought me a boogie board for the beach. On and on and on. So we were communicating. She was seeing improvement. Like she hadn't abandoned me, although she told me she had. And they started getting loco with me. Well, I ain't got a friend, so here I go again. That was the last time I think I've ever really went to where I was thought dangerous arc. And they basically, in my opinion, were trying to corner me in. Physically, mentally, any which way. They said, we're going to fly you to Florida to our other dispensers, no charge. We're going to have you in a plane in an hour, blah, blah, blah. Basically, within a half hour, I said, I want the fuck out of here. They said, they're not going to do that. They called the sheriff's department. I pulled out a razor blade. I started slashing my arms left and right. No, oh my God. I've been there, done that. This is a game I play. See, that's the thing you guys don't totally understand. I'm not saying I was sane in that moment. But I'm just getting in a costume. That scares people like that. And I know exactly where I cut. Boom, 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 down each finger line. What the fuck are you going to do? Like, any move they made, I would cut myself. You're the ones getting paid, right? But I definitely didn't display that I would cut them also. To make a long story short, I had called Wendy before that. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. She came down to Orange County in about an hour and a half. And as the sheriff's departments are all fucking pulling up because of a psycho disturbance at Spencer's, I got the pocket full of Klonopins. I jump in the back of her Suburban, and we are going back to my home in Tarzana. Not the way she wanted it to go, but then again, that's the kind of way Don does it. But I just fucking pulled out. I had to make a statement. I had to do a display, dude. There wasn't even razor blades there. I found them through the fucking razors. But it really irritated me when they started claiming that, see, the iPod that Wendy had gotten me had been stolen. And I wasn't even that mad about that. But then they started getting into that whole, because you're an addict, you're making up stories now. We know your iPod wasn't stolen. You're doing this to try to get attention. That's when I went to like, whoa, you're dealing with, okay, that was when I was 10. I'm telling you the truth right now. Like, you can tell me to do this, and maybe I won't. Maybe I will do what you want me to do. But if you can't even see that I would never make up a